Welcome to the Solomon Islands, a country made up of over 900 islands, divided into 9 different provinces, and where over 70 languages are spoken. However, to me, this is the nation in which I was born in, I grew up in, and will always call home. Where my ancestors once walked and thrived, and now I also proudly do so. December of 2024, I traveled back home with my partner and my sister to visit family, reconnect with my people and my home, and to enjoy the festivities of Christmas in the islands. I would like to show you a glimpse of what a day in the life looks like on a remote village in the western province of the Solomon Islands, a real glimpse into remote island living from my point of view. This Sunday morning started off at 5 a.m. with a 40-minute boat ride to the nearby ferry port to meet some family, friends, and to collect our weekly supplies as we are completely off grid and do not have any proper supply stores or supermarkets nearby. This ferry comes once a week, which means pre-planning and being organized with essential items is absolutely crucial. By 8:30 a.m., we were back home in our village, preparing for a busy and productive day ahead. It was absolutely stunning. The sun was out and the light was just bouncing off the water. Unfortunately for my partner, a few of his cuts got infected, which is why his feet are submerged in warm water and Dettol to disinfect it. He was also on antibiotics,
A
which we brought from
patient.
Australia, as medication can be very hard to come by in the village. Straight after breakfast, it was time to get our respective house chores done, which obviously consist of me interrupting my mom's amazing pineapple jam cooking process.
The lime you can, it's up to you. If you want more lime, you can put more lime. I just put 3.
I am telling you, my mum makes the most delicious pineapple jam. It is phenomenal. You start craving sweets after a few weeks on a remote island, and my partner had reached that point. So we went on a really nice 15-minute walk to a relative's house to buy a few treats.
Oh, okay. Oh, si bata yun lang yan.
Along the way, we crossed over this little creek where I used to play and swim with my cousins when I was little. After a really nice short walk along the shoreline, we had reached my relative's house, which underneath his house, he sells goods and supplies out of a little canteen. This is the closest thing we have to a shop or a convenience store in the village. The options are limited, but it provides the essentials that the villagers need to get by day to day. We've bought what we needed and headed home to prepare lunch for the family. For lunch, I was making mackerel in coconut milk with rice. So I collected 2 dry coconuts near our house, removed the husks, and cracked them open to scrape the inside of the coconut.
3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Then vegetable na.
Yan nga po, yaran na. Siya na.
What problem good?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is the scraped coconut flesh and the coconut juice mixed together. I also picked up some chili from our auntie's house as my family loves spicy food and we add chili to almost everything. The next step is to squeeze the coconut flesh and juice together to create the coconut milk. I then squeeze the mix over a strainer into the pot to separate the coconut milk from the coconut scraps. In the Solomon Islands, we use coconut milk in most of our dishes. It is a staple ingredient. We have an abundant supply of coconut trees in and around our village. It is free, sustainable, and nutritious. And voila, we have mackerel and coconut milk ready to go over the fire. Oh, and the coconut scraps get fed to the fish. Once lunch was over, we headed off to the gardens to harvest crops and vegetables for our family. But first, we stopped off at my uncle's house to check on my mum's worm farm for her herb garden. Also, my uncle built this house by hand, was self-taught, using about 95% recycled and reused materials. How innovative and inspiring is that? To get onto the main road that leads to the gardens, we have to first climb up a hill behind our house, walking on a constant incline for about 5 minutes. I would also like to mention that this is the norm for our villages. We don't normally plant our main gardens next to or around our houses in the village. Instead, we all plant about a few kilometers up the mountain. It's hard work and quite labor intensive. The view at the top of the hill, though, was absolutely breathtaking, overlooking the village, the bay, and the nearby islands and villages. Me and my dad used to come up here when I was little to watch the sunset and take photos of the colour-filled sky. So being up here again was like a trip down memory lane. We then proceeded onto the road leading to our garden, about 40 minutes walk through the stunning and dense rainforest. This is the main water tank for the whole village.
So we are currently walking up to the gardens. This is how our people, or the people in our village, have done it for thousands of years. We all plant up in the mountains or behind the hills, and it's about 40 minutes to an hour walk. And we're going to harvest some food, some crops, vegetables, for the Christmas period. So we're all set and we don't have to stress about food during celebration period. Yeah, we're going out with my family and it should be good. It's definitely quite the walk, but definitely worth it, and it's really nice to be in the forest, up in the mountains or like the hills, and just being in nature and having fresh air. It's just really, really good. Yeah. So we've got Henry up there, and then in front of him we've got my mum, and then further ahead we've got my two sisters who are walking in front of us. So nice little family adventure. Nana!
Found some delicious green coconuts for a snack and then headed down to the garden to start harvesting the crops and vegetables that we needed, like potatoes, cassava, taro, and so on. Once we're done, we collect all of our harvest and put them into a hand-woven basket. We carry over our shoulders or our heads and walk down the mountain with that. It is quite heavy and labor intensive, but this is the way we bring our food back to our village and our homes. By 4:30 p.m, we were back in our village, dropped off our harvest at home and headed to our afternoon volleyball game. Every afternoon at about 4:30 p.m, the whole community gathers at the village field and enjoys a few games of volleyball and soccer. It is such a fun experience. Straight after the game, we headed back home to cook dinner and found Mum filleting fish at our jetty. She filleted the fish, so me and my sisters cooked dinner. By 7:30 p.m, dinner was ready and my whole family ate together, including my cousins, uncles, and aunties. The night was beautiful, calm, and peaceful, but the best part of it all was sharing a meal with those dear to me and knowing that I have my amazing community around me. Village life looks different for everyone, and this is one from my point of view. I am so grateful I get to call this life mine. Simple and more than enough. Thank you so much for spending a day of village life with me, and I cannot wait to see you on my next adventure. Leana Via!